I'm not gonna lie to you, I honestly didn't think this movie could be as bad as it was. Like, are there good elements? Sure, absolutely. But like, wow, it sucked. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance was released in 2011. It was written by Scott N. Gimple and Seth Hoffman and David S. Goyer, and directed by Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor. No spoilers if you haven't seen this one yet, but essentially, this is a reboot of the Ghost Rider franchise where we see him already established as the Ghost Rider as he is trying to relinquish himself from the curse by helping this Christian, ban the devil from receiving his child. That's the basic plot. But it is set up like a sequel to the original one, which I find really interesting because there are direct scenes in this film that contradict things from the first movie. First, none of the actors return except for Nicolas Cage. He's the only one that returns. So all of the characters are just forgotten forever. No storyline will be continued there, which is stupid because I really liked some of the characters in the first film. But what they did instead was they basically gave shots from the past, flashbacks, basically. I don't know why that wasn't the word that I came up with first, but flashbacks that showed things that were in the movie from the first movie, but showed it in a different way. So instead of him accidentally cutting his thumb and accidentally dropping blood on there, and the devil's like, oh, it's okay, that'll do. He actually cuts himself on purpose and throws blood on the thing as if he made the devil deal with the devil on purpose, which isn't really what happened in the first film. But there are some elements that are direct calls from the first film. So it's complicated, but I'm going to call this a soft reboot, where they take elements from the first film, and that's it. That's really all that they took from this. And that's okay with me, because some of the things in here are really cool. So before we talk about some of the things that don't work, I'm going to talk about the things that do work, which are few and far between, unfortunately. First of all, this is a Nick Cage film. And the first Ghost Rider was not a Nick Cage film. That was a Marvel film, and it felt like such. This one felt like a Nick Cage film. I mean, there's just Nick Cage is all over this thing, I swear. It's incredible. I didn't realize how much a Marvel movie could change based on the actor, but he really brought Nick Cage to the role here. I thought that was kind of funny. Not helpful really to the whole film, but it was funny. I liked the look of the entire film. It was very dark and it was very gritty. And Ghost Rider himself is scarred and charred and blackened when he becomes the Rider. Instead of having the white skull and there's flame on top, it looks like he's actually a flame and his entire body is charred. That looks so cool. I love the design. I actually think it's super cool, and I really, really like it. Quite a lot. Unfortunately, those are the only real things that I can tell that are actually really good. And Idris Elba was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Idris Elba was probably a highlight in this film. But beyond that, this film's just garbage. The plot is kind of okay, but it's loose. They're like, Johnny, you gotta go get this kid so that the devil can't get him. And I don't understand that, because what are they gonna do when they get the kid? They're gonna get the kid and be like, hey, got you. What then? There's no plan. They have no plan for what's going to happen after that. And I find that incredibly frustrating. The special effects are actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. They're pretty cool. But that's all this movie has is style. And the style is good. It's just the plot is not there. And I, by the second half of this film, I was falling asleep. I was actively slapping myself to keep me awake because it was just so dry. The writing is boring and just uninteresting, and I really wish it kept up the momentum from the beginning of the film, because the beginning was actually pretty good. I liked the introduction, I liked a lot of the cool special effects in the first fight scene, all really cool stuff. Then it just went downhill immediately. One other thing that I want to mention before we wrap up is I hate the narration in this film so much. It's so bad. In the beginning of the film, they do the whole thing where it's like, hi, I'm Ghost Rider. you're probably wondering how I got here right now. And then they do this whole weird, like, backstory thing, which we already know about from the first film, but in case you didn't watch that one and now you want to watch this one, we'll throw it at you. No, don't do that to me. I don't want that. They do, I'm gonna tell you what the last lines of the film are, and it's not gonna spoil anything. Okay, no spoilers. Here are the last lines of the film. I'm Johnny Blaze, and I'm the Ghost Rider. That's the end of the film. I actually did watch this like a week ago. I haven't filmed in a while because of a cold, as you can tell. But I'm pretty sure that's the entirety of the last line of the film. And it is the stupidest ending to a film I've ever seen. It just, like, stops. Like, they're like, whoa, fight, battle scene. We don't have a last line. Just have him say his name again. It's fine. No, it's not fine. That was awful. But this movie, it's campy, but in the worst ways. It's funny also in the worst ways. It has some cool effects. There are some really interesting moments, but for the most part, it is a dry heap of garbage. And I don't recommend you watch this one if you haven't already. It's not that good. It's really boring. Some people probably really like it, but I do not. I'm going to go ahead and give Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance a D. Have you guys seen Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about it. I don't know where it's streaming. I have it on Blu-ray, so I didn't have to rent it or anything. Who knows? It could come to Disney Plus soon. Now they have the whole thing that they're doing on the 16th or whatever, so I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly, truly appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the movie, and please consider subscribing if you're not already. It helps me out a whole lot and keeps the channel going, so please consider doing so if you haven't already. It would help me out a whole lot. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.